What if I were to tell you that in this stacked 2025 running back draft class, there's a name that's going under the radar who could make an instant impact in the NFL? Oregon running back Jordan James is not being talked about enough in draft circles. If he ends up in a good landing spot come draft day, he could be fantasy relevant immediately, not to mention in dynasty leagues. There are a ton of really good draft eligible running backs in this year's class. But hopefully, after you watch this video, you'll agree with me that he should be an early day 3 or maybe even a day 2 selection. Now, just looking at the advanced PFF stats for players with at least 50 carries on the season, we see Jordan James really impressive here with a 91.5 rushing grade from PFF, as well as an 87.6 total offensive grade. So if you value these PFF grades, 7th in the entire nation. That's Jordan James in his rushing grades. Had 13 rushing touchdowns, over 1,100 yards here. You know, one thing to note, the breakaway percentage, only 20%. That's pretty low, especially for all the guys on this list. So he's not going to give you as many of those breakaway runs, at least according to these PFF stats. He's not the flashiest player in the world, but I think he's a really good prospect, as we're going to see in this film breakdown. He did have an impressive 687 yards after contact. So looking at James's individual stats here, pretty consistent across the entire season. Definitely started out really strong. With 102 yards against Boise State, had 115 yards and a touchdown against Ohio State, the eventual national champions, and scored a rushing touchdown in almost every single game this season. Solid stats for Jordan James against some pretty good competition as well in the Big Ten. Let's go ahead and get into the film. On our first play here, we're going to have 6 blockers at the line of scrimmage against 4 defensive linemen in the front. This left tackle is going to hold his man right here, allowing this left guard and this tight end to move upfield and hopefully block these 2 linebackers, the secondary defenders upfield, giving Jordan James a big hole to run through. And you can see they do exactly that. Big hole is formed. Both guys get upfield to the second level and land some solid blocks. And we see what James is able to do after he gets through the initial blocking of the offensive line. He's going to spin off some contact and do a nice job keeping his balance through the contact and generating some extra yards. So we'll see that real quick. Right here in motion. Then we'll see left tackle holding his block here. The rest are sealing off this. We're going to see this left guard hitting the linebacker, and this tight end is going to try to hit the other one here. James through and hits a little bit of contact here, but spins off, keeps turning his legs, and gains about an extra 5 yards at the end of that play, which is really, really good if you're an NFL scout. Looking at a running back who's going to run strong, keep turning his legs, and always fall forward. That's one of his really good traits. We'll watch that one more time from this angle. Again, you can see these 2 come up, block the secondary defenders. James gets hit, spins off the contact, falls forward. Good play. Right here, we're going to see the patience of Jordan James. He's going to have a carry through the gut of the offensive line, and he's going to wait at the line of scrimmage for just a second. The hole he's looking for to open up, and then he's just going to vault himself through it, using his speed to get away from the diving tacklers. But that patience, mixed with his contact balance and his strength, is exactly what you want to see in an NFL running back. That's why I think he's such a sleeper this year. There are a lot of really good names running back in this class, obviously, but I think Jordan James is not being talked about enough. So watch his patience at the line of scrimmage here. Gets the ball, waits right here, and you'll see this on the other angle better, but then hits the hole, gets through, and falls forward. Here it is. Looks really congested at first. He's going to take a second and then cut back. You can see he's leaning this way. At the last second, he sees this defensive lineman crashing through. He's going to cut back to this lane where there's a lot of green grass ahead of him. Does exactly that. Good stuff. This play here is going to be a pitch out to the left for James. We're going to see the tight end crash in on this defensive end, pushing him towards the middle of the field. The left tackle kicks out, and the other wide receiver out here is able to as well. They're going to be the lead blockers for James. He's one of those running backs that may not have the greatest speed in the world, but once he gets going is really hard to bring down. He's a really strong runner. As we've said, we're going to see that more later in the film study with that contact balance. So when he starts going at full speed, tough to bring down with one guy. Something that he does that I like a lot is that sometimes at the end of a play, he'll just cut back towards the middle of the defense, like he does at the end of this play. Instead of just going out of bounds, he fights for those couple extra yards, tries to bowl over a couple extra defenders on his way to a bunch of extra yards. We'll see that here on the pitch. Watch here. Tight end crashes in here on the defensive end. Blockers out in front. Look at him when he gets going, the acceleration, and then just throws himself at these defenders fighting for extra yards and falls forward for about 7 extra yards rather than just going down. So really good play. He's good after contact. We've seen that consistently. So a lot of positives to like so far in his tape. Here's the replay here. Here's the pitch. Leans left, cuts back inside, runs through the defense like a hot knife through butter. Here off the bat, we see Tez Johnson in motion, bringing this defender away from where the play is actually going to go. Tight end is going to go up the gap here between the center and the left guard that's created, and Jordan James is going to follow him right through the hole. Really one of his good qualities, fighting through congestion at the line of scrimmage to push forward. He does something that we call get skinny at the line of scrimmage as well, which when there's a really small gap to hit, a really narrow hole that he can run through, he's able to contort his body and fly through it at a high speed, not being derailed by the congestion at the line of scrimmage. So we're going to see that here, but watch James fight through. Tight end up the gap. James follows him. Right here, something you can question. The defender here is flat-footed, so if James decides to break this way, it may be a bigger gain. So you can question that decision there. Maybe he doesn't quite have the long speed for that. So that can be a critique of his game, but he does break this back through and tries to break some tackles. So still a good run. As you can see, he tries to spin away there, and we'll see one more time here. Tight end up the middle. And you can see just how congested this is. Look at him just bend over and slide through this gap that really is about as wide as he is. Not easy to run through, but James, no problem, doesn't slow down, flies through, and gets some extra yards. Real quick, just want to show off the receiving ability. He had just over 200 receiving yards at Oregon this year. We're going to see him come through the line and then out to the left here and make a really nice hands catch on the ball that was a little bit high from Dylan Gabriel, but still a good catch. Not all running backs can do this, just pluck a ball out of the air. It seems like a simple skill, but James has it, just putting it on display here. Here it is. Comes out of the backfield late, and nice catch where the ball's up high and trucks a defender over. Next play here, we're going to see a Beastquake Marshawn Lynch-like run from Jordan James. I know that's a lot to live up to, but you're going to see why here. The tight end is going to do a really nice job driving his man towards the center of the field here, meaning that when James shows off that patience at the line of scrimmage, he waits for that really great block to be made, goes left, and then he's going to shake off 2 tackles and just dive forward. I can't really do it justice just talking about it, so you're just going to have to watch the clip and see what I mean. I'll play it once with stopping, and then I'll play it full speed so you can see exactly how it looked on the field. Here's the block right here. You can see James waiting for the block here. Tight end driving his man inside. James is going to go around to the left side. Hits that. You can see he's meeting a lot of contact here. Hits the defender. Spins off the contact. There's a guy diving at his legs too, if you can't tell, but hits the defender, spins off contact, gets hit again, doesn't get brought down, fights forward and dives across the goal line. It was called down at the 1. He ends up punching this one in the next play, but oh my goodness, what an effort. We'll watch it back one more time. James, patient, spins off the contact, doesn't go down again, shaking off the contact, 2 times in one play, just cannot be brought down, especially in a goal line situation. So you know he's going to get those touches at the NFL level. But trucks a defender, spins off the contact, and then breaks another tackle, diving down to the 1, punches it in. Next play here, we're going to see James line up on the right side. He's going to take the carry, and then we're going to see some really good blocking on the left side of the line with the tight ends, wide receiver, tackle, and guard from Oregon. And you may just think it's a really well-designed play, the blocking holds up, but watch what Jordan James does when he meets contact at the second level. It's honestly ridiculous how far he drags this defender. You're just going to have to watch. So watch. James takes it. Some really good blocking developing. Goes for this gap initially. Bounces outside when he sees the defender. Shed the block and try to get through. So really good evasiveness at the line of scrimmage there. James hits the hole. Dodges the leg tackle. And then number 12 just gets taken for a ride, man, for like 5 yards. Really good play, dragging the defender forward, falling forward. Just a really strong run, carrying a defender, not being brought down. There's the jump. This defender gets in, sheds the block this way. James, what a quick cut to the outside over this way. Jump cut right there, really quick, snappy jump cut. And then, oh my goodness, just carries this defender for like 5 or 7 extra yards. Good stuff. This is one of our last plays from the Oregon State game this year. We're going to see a run to the left side for Jordan James. And let me tell you, the cavalry has arrived. When this guard and this tackle pull across, and our lead blockers for James, and he does a really nice job not outrunning his blockers, which is something running backs do sometimes. But he's really patient again, as we've said, doesn't outrun his blocks, waits for them to set up, and then breaks a few tackles on his way to a really nice gain. And we'll see that here. James gets the ball. These two pull. James waits behind, then cuts through this gap right here, and he's going to shake a tackle. Had a defender all over him, but just breaks off him, spins through it, and gets a bunch of extra yards falling forward again. Really good play. We're going to see a run for James. He's going to try to go outside the tackle, but when this defensive end gets past his blocker, making that impossible, blocking him off right here, we're going to see him redirect really creatively, completely change direction, make a defender miss, and get upfield. That creativity at the line of scrimmage, that evasiveness, avoiding defenders, even when they get past the blocks, that's a really good quality for NFL running backs to have, to turn negative plays into positive gains like he does so often. So we'll see that here. James gets the ball. Tries to go outside. You can see this defender has gotten past his blocker. This defender most likely will soon. So James is going to cut back, make this guy miss. After this becomes a play that is just not going to happen. James cuts back, makes this guy miss. And then open field makes this guy miss. Nice juke move. We'll see it one more time. One more time in full speed. Redirect, makes him miss. Juke move. Jukes him out of his shoes. Good play. Right here we're going to see another nice play from James. Really good blocking as well. This left tackle holds his block really well. Getting the edge rusher pushed back this way. The left guard and center go upfield to block secondary defenders. And this right guard crashes inside on the interior defender, pancaking this guy here. Really good block there. And we'll see James. These guys don't do a great job upfield. A defender just gets right by him. And James just shrugs off the tackle with a nice little stiff arm type play. Right here you can see left tackle does well enough getting this edge defender outside, giving a lot of space for James up here. You can see the pancake block right here. Really nice job. James gets the second level. And then these guys kind of just let this defender right through him. We're going to see James kind of just shrug it off. Little stiff arm type thing. Right there. Just gets him on the ground. And then watch him cut back through the defense, vaulting himself through there for like 10 extra yards. Really nice play at the end. We'll see it one more time here. James sheds that tackle really nice, and then just cuts back through the defense and just shakes off another tackle, falls forward for like 7 extra yards. I love when he does that at the end of these plays. Really nice job. And then something you're going to love in fantasy, Jordan James can be used as that goal line back. We're going to see it here. I formation for the Ducks, and they're just going to run him straight up the gut. He's going to make a cut and then just plow through to the end zone. Gets through this national champion Ohio State defense, and through the contact, breaks through. See another angle. Just nothing but a good play here. Isn't brought down. Touchdown. Really quick, a nice run from James. Not much to break down here, but good acceleration through the hole right here. He's going to just dodge the defenders, put some nice angles on the DBs on his way to a pretty nice gain. Hits this gap here. Accelerates through. Hits it really well. Gets past the defender. Gets the edge using that speed to the sideline. See one more time. Good blocking there from 72. And puts the ankle on the DB. Good speed. Next play here, we see the tackle come inside. We're in the red zone again. Tackle comes inside on this blitzing linebacker. Blocks him pretty nicely. Doesn't get a ton of push on the block, but is still able to hold him in place. James is going to navigate around the block and just push through 2 defenders that get hands on him early and just pull them along with him for about 3 extra yards in the red zone. That's a really good thing to be able to do, especially down here where it matters. So good blocking and good job from James dragging these defenders with him. Right here, 76. Comes inside. Nice block right here. Doesn't get a ton of push, so James still has to navigate around and go through. And right here, gets met by 2 defenders, but still powers through for a couple extra yards. Nice play. Good blocking. One more time. Jump cut. Gets skinny through the narrow opening in the line of scrimmage. We're going to see here just really quickly, Jordan James, once he gets going, has a really nice blend of contact, balance, power, and those short bursts of speed. The long speed has been in question, but he still has that really nice burst ability, the acceleration through the line of scrimmage to carve the defense up for nice gains like we're going to see here. You're going to see the burst. So watch Jordan James in the backfield. Right here, this defender has a chance to make a play, but James is way too fast. leaves him in the dust diving, and drags that defender with him for about 3 more yards. Falling forward, good play. We'll see one more time. James accelerating through. Nice play, cutting out the defense. I couldn't get through this without putting in a pass protection snap right here. Going to be a free rusher through the offensive line. James is going to meet him, slam into him, cause him to fall down, and a really good block allowing for a play downfield through the passing game. But look out for that pass protection. Plays like that can get him on the field at the NFL level if he's able to pass protect like this on a consistent basis. But this is a really nice rep here. So watch James right here, crack, and just gives Gabriel just a little bit more time to make this play downfield. And again, did this against the national champion Buckeyes. Now, after you've watched the film, I hope you understand why I think Jordan James has the potential to be one of the best running backs in this year's draft class. He's not the flashiest prospect in the world, but he could be just the missing piece an NFL backfield needs to improve their rushing attack. A lot of this depends on his landing spot when the draft happens, but I honestly think he's a steal if you can get him in the 3rd round of most rookie drafts. If he's given the opportunity for a big role, I think he's going to shine, and I think he's going to be really, really efficient. After watching the tape, it wouldn't be shocking to see an NFL team take a chance in day 2 on the strong, powerful runner that is Jordan James. I think he's a pretty well-rounded running back prospect and could be one of the biggest sleepers in Dynasty Fantasy Football this year.